Hello everybody and welcome back. In this video we will talk about log levels, okay? And this is a really cool topic. If you guys are starting to write scripts, you will definitely use log levels quite a bit. So let's go over what we will talk about. We will cover all different types of the log levels, which there's 4 of them. And then we will talk about when to use one and how to display them in NetSuite and how we can make the good use of them. So let's look at the code where we're gonna write first. So let me bring up my code that we're gonna do. Okay, so here's the code that I wrote. It's a simple program, and this is a client script. And what is gonna happen here is we're just gonna on page init, we're just gonna write to alert hello world, and this is not needed. It's just for us to make sure that the code is executed. And so right here there are 4 different types of levels of logs that NetSuite allows us to do, and log.debug, log.audit, log.error, and log.emergency. And so the biggest understanding is that when you do your testing, and that's how I do it, and we put that in debug mode into log.debug. And so that way when you're testing, you can put your values in here and you can track certain values or whatever you want, or if you're gonna put them, if you're in a certain functions, you want to make sure that the code is executed. That's what you use it for. Audit is for audit. I don't barely ever use it. However, you will see it. A lot of different companies use it. Now, log.error, it's when you catch errors, when you do certain errors. Now, this is when you put into production. And so when you're writing your testing, you do that. Log.error is for production. And then log.emergency is basically anything that is kind of very important, certain values that you don't want to reach, or certain things that if you're in a certain function with different things. I've used it quite a few times, not a lot, but just a few times when that value or something that I really need to keep an eye on. It's not really an error. There could be emergency, like, oh, you're reaching a certain threshold or whatever it is. That's kind of what I think of when I see emergency log. So, but the biggest thing is to understand why it's actually even used and why do we even need to. So the cool thing about NetSuite, what allows you to do, so when you write your code, you use this, and then whenever you don't need to go back and delete those debug logs in your program, you can just change that log level execution, the script execution level log, and it will stop looking and ignore different kinds of logs. Okay, so let's upload and let's see this in action. So then maybe it is confusing right now, guys, but we will I'll show you a graph in a minute and then we will talk about it. So let's get to let me end this for now. And let's go into NetSuite. Okay, so inside of NetSuite here, what I have this script already here, and the execution log, there is nothing there right now. Now let's look at the script deployment, because this is where you control it. So over here on script deployment, we're gonna execute this on the employee record, and currently it's status in testing, but it doesn't really matter. We're gonna do edit, and this is where things gonna come interesting. So log level right here, and this is where we're gonna look at it. So right now it says debug, and so basically what's gonna happen here is that when you can select one of the 4 here, so you cannot multi-select. But think of that as a kind of like a multi-select, because when you are selecting debug, you will be executing all of them. If you select audit, you will execute audit, error, and emergency. And if you're gonna select error, you're gonna execute error and emergency. And only if you select emergency, you will skip all of those and only that. So if I go back to my magic PowerPoint here, I kind of have this image here that kind of describes. So if you are thinking about it, so if you select debug, it will execute 1, 2, 3, and 4. But if you execute error over here, so let me just kind of come out of here, so then I can lose my PowerPoint here. There's a reason I don't like in the PowerPoint mode when you are selecting, when you're displaying it, you cannot do this. So basically when you want error, so if you select error, so think of that as kind of like running it right from error. So just drop it down over here so you can kind of see error and emergency will be executed, and debug and audit will not be executing. And this is done for a reason. So let's go and do this. So I'm gonna save this. And so we're gonna run this in debug. So now I'm on an employee record. I'm gonna hit refresh, and as soon as it loads, it should execute our script. There it is. Hello world. Now, what I'm gonna do, now that it's executed the script, I'm gonna come back here to my script record, and I'm gonna refresh on the execution log. And I should see all of them over here. So as you can see, we just triggered the emergency, error, audit, and debug. And here are those logs that you see here. Now, if I go back, now let's see if this is correct. I'm gonna add it here. And I'm gonna click on error, and I'm gonna click save. Now that I come back to employee record and hit refresh, now this should execute a script again. And now when I come back to the script and hit refresh here, I should only see 2, error and emergency. And boom, here they are, error and emergency only. So those are the 4 from before, and here are the 2 for now. So this is very useful when it comes to when you put your code in production and you're done with testing and everything, you don't need to go back and do those debug logs that you did during testing. It's really cool. And then you just change this to production. You change this not for testing anymore, and you just select a different audit log or whatever the error log you want, and you don't see those log anymore. Another cool thing about this is if you go to if you want to track your scripting, so you go customization, scripting, and script, well, when I catch it, customization, scripting, script execution logs. And this is kind of very important. So when you come here, and you can select which log level you want to see as well. So if you only want to see errors and you don't want to see them, you can just select that, and boom, just like that, you can actually see those error logs. This is actually very helpful when it comes to tracking errors in your system, or not just logs, right? So this is kind of very important. Now, it doesn't really matter in your program, so coming back here, it doesn't really matter what you put in here. So the system doesn't really understand, oh, it's an error, I'm in the error mode, right? It's not like that. You control what you think error is, and you can catch it, and you can control it what you want to see in your error logs or in your debug logs. Okay, hope I guys explained to you very well. If you're still confused, let me know in the notes, in the comments, and please like and subscribe, and keep on suiting. See you next time.